Hi, I'm Simon Townsend and thank you so much for visiting us today. I'm going to reveal to you a shocking fact about the financial markets that the whole industry prefers to keep quiet about. I'll also tell you why this dirty secret is great news for you and me. But before I do that, allow me to introduce myself for a moment, because if we've not met before, it's really important that you know who you're listening to. So very briefly, I'm a professional commodity trader who's been active in the financial markets since 1981, a hell of a long time. For the last 10 years or so, I've also specialised in helping traders and investors achieve financial independence by learning how to trade the markets properly themselves. I've had the privilege of helping hundreds of traders all over the world earn their living from the markets, and in many cases achieving regular monthly incomes exceeding most people's annual income. The success of my students has been phenomenal, and that is the reason we set up the Trading University, in order to give more people access to this life-changing knowledge. Our students range from complete novices with no more than the desire for freedom and a better lifestyle, away from the rat race, that early morning commute and the ghastly office politics, to investors that simply want a second income in exchange for a minimal amount of work each year, right through to professional floor traders who need to make the transition to trading successfully off a computer screen. Now, I mentioned just now that it's really important that you know who you're dealing with in this industry. That's because it is absolutely full of crooks and charlatans who masquerade as trading experts, ready to steal money from the pockets of unsuspecting people, when the truth is most of them have never traded in their lives. You may have had the misfortune to have met some of these very believable, very accomplished marketers before. If so, you know exactly what I mean already. After all my decades in the markets, I've seen more crooks and scammers come and go than you can shake a stick at, so I just urge you to be very careful. That doesn't mean that there aren't decent, genuine, well-meaning people out there, because there are. There just aren't that many of us, so choose carefully. The reality of acquiring new skills is this. If you want to learn anything in life, by far the best and fastest way to achieve that is to copy and learn from someone who's already successful at it, right? Trading is no different in that respect. However, where it is different is in the amount of money involved. I know of no other business that someone can enter with little or no experience, yet provides the opportunity to become financially independent in less time than it takes most people just to study for their preferred career. That's a big attraction. But you've got to do it right, and in the meantime you've got to avoid being preyed on by the vultures. That brings me on to the dirty secret that everybody hates being discussed, and this is it. Trading is a zero-sum game. Every dollar somebody makes in the markets is at the expense of somebody else losing a dollar. Contrary to popular belief, the markets do not generate wealth at all. Financial markets are purely a vehicle for moving wealth between different participants. I'm sure you've heard of the stock exchange, and I'm sure you've heard of commodity exchanges. Well, the clue is in the name: exchange. The truth about the markets has actually been hidden in plain view all of this time. So now you're probably wondering, well, what on earth's the point of it all? How come the markets are so big? Why is this such a huge business? Doesn't it sound just like gambling if no money is created but simply moved from player to player? Well, despite how it may sound, markets are in fact critical to all our lives every day. Without them, food prices, for example, would be miles higher. Businesses would be far less efficient and less profitable. In fact, everything that you consume would likely be much more expensive. So the markets really do perform a vital, yet rarely understood service to us all. But that's a long story, and it's a long story for another time. For now, the important thing to know about the zero-sum game is this: 9 out of 10 traders consistently lose money in the markets. But while the markets do not create money, nor do they destroy it either. So that means that the money that 90% of participants lose has to go somewhere. You probably guessed it. That money ends up in the pockets of that small percentage of traders who are actually successful at their work. the 1 in 10 who actually know what they're doing and how to consistently take money out of the markets. And that is you and me. Or more precisely, my current and former students. But I hope you'll be joining us too. Can you imagine having 9 people standing outside your door each day, eager to hand you money? Clearly you're motivated to trade for a living, and for sure you want to become financially independent as soon as possible. So I've got great news for you. After all these years of earning my living in the markets, and more recently helping others to achieve the same thing, I made it my business to find even better ways to help you start earning right away and to become a successful trader faster and easier than ever before. What I realized after years of turning other people into profitable traders was that much of what we do is actually an art. Yet every teacher out there only teaches the science of trading. Yes, it's quite easy to learn how to use a particular indicator or a certain trading strategy. There are endless books and courses to teach you the basic mechanics of such things. Yet when it comes to doing it for real in the live market, suddenly it all becomes rather different to the theory, and outcomes tend to be rather different too. Now, you may already have experienced this, and I know hundreds of traders who just can't figure out why it doesn't work for them in practice. And the answer is simple. Trading is both an art and a science. To be successful, you have to understand the whole package, not just a part of it. Once you figure out where the problem really lies, then it becomes a whole lot easier to fix it, and fix it fast. And that is what the Trading University is all about. The formula I developed is literally transforming the entire industry. By being able to take anyone at all with just the desire to make a living trading and making them successful in weeks, not years or decades like it used to take. The key is not just knowing how to use a particular indicator or trading strategy or a trade setup, the science if you like. The real secret is in knowing exactly where to use these tools and techniques and when not to use them. That's the art. That is what a successful trader is able to do that a losing trader is not, even though they may actually be using the same underlying system or tools. And that is where our education is different to everyone else. Because we've discovered the real barrier to success for most people, we've now been able to capture and codify the art of trading. So in addition to teaching you the mechanics of how to use particular tools and techniques, my team and I will go the critical extra mile and show you exactly when and where to use them, and equally important, when not to use them at all. In order to get started, all you have to do is click on the button that says Get Started Now and follow the brief instructions on the next page. We recognise that students come to us with a whole range of different backgrounds. Some are equity traders, some are commodity traders, some are forex traders, some are longer term investors, and some are complete beginners. The actual markets are largely irrelevant. Basically, if it moves, we can trade it and make money with it. Our techniques work everywhere. So if you already have preferred markets, that's fine. However, what we want to do is to suggest the most appropriate program for you based upon your current level of experience. If you're a beginner, for example, we'll start by teaching you the very basics and then kind of building up from there. If you have a lot of experience already, then we can jump straight into the more advanced stuff. You know, we want to recognize that everyone is different, and we want to make you feel comfortable and confident in your work, as well as recognizing, of course, that your time is precious and not to be wasted. So we don't want to overwhelm beginners by immediately teaching them advanced techniques or wasting the time of more experienced traders, you know, with the basics. Therefore, if you follow the simple instructions on the next page, we'll get you started at the most efficient place in this life-changing journey with us. It costs nothing to register as a member of the Trading University, so come and discover now how my team and I can help you set off on the path to financial independence starting this very day. Just click on the Get Started Now button and I'll see you on the very next page.